Bless the Lord, O my soul, blessed art thou, Lord. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me, bless his holy name. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all he hath done for thee, who is gracious unto all thine iniquities.
We are in the nativity season when we celebrate the birth of our salvation, Jesus Christ. It's a time when many families and friends get together that haven't seen each other for most of the year. It's a special time of the year. But one of the things that is very important for us to remember is that every waking moment of every day should be a special time when it comes to our friends and our relatives. Even a little quick telephone call to someone like an old lady that's in a care center, or an uncle who's lost his wife. Those are really important things that we need to pay attention to as Orthodox Christians. We need to remember that all of us are created in the image and likeness of God. And we need to act like that's true, because it is true. I remember an elderly couple, the sweetest people. The woman was a great cook and a great housekeeper, and she had the most beautiful little cottage. And she had a spare room. And her husband was one of the kindest people that I'd ever met. And we had a mutual friend who, whenever he was in that city, would stay with them. And when they started to decline in their mental capacities, and the house was no longer neat and tidy and warm and comfortable, this mutual friend stopped going to see them. I was so saddened by that. And finally, the man died, and there was just his wife. And she was just kind of left alone by our mutual friend. It was a very sad thing. All of us have moments like that. I can remember once when I had an old friend that I hadn't seen for years. And he wasn't successful in his life. In fact, he had probably gained 300 pounds since I had known him. And I remember when he called me one day and wanted to get together, and I found myself feeling embarrassed to be seen publicly with him. And then I came to my senses. And I remembered that all of us are struggling, and some people have problems with health. Maybe that it's a health issue that brought on the extra weight. Or people who, in their aging process, start into a decline mentally. I sometimes wonder if that might be happening with me. But regardless, they're still in the image and likeness of God. And we need to behave towards them, remembering that. I remember one time a family that the patriarch of the family had established a very successful business. And he was prospering with that business. But as he got older, he lost a lot of his mental abilities. And other members of his family basically marginalized him. They had a new CEO of the company, one other family member, and they no longer looked to him for leadership. But rather than surrounding him with love and gratitude, they basically put him aside. He was no longer interested. They were no longer interested in being around him because he had nothing to offer them, even though everything they had originated with him. We all have moments like that we need to guard our hearts. And what better time to pay attention to what's going on in our heart towards other people than the nativity season. So may God help all of us to bring forth the light of Christ in every action and every behavior that we have towards those around us and those who have been in our lives but are oftentimes forgotten. May God bless us all.
Both now and ever and unto the ages of ages. Amen. Only begotten Son and immortal Word of